Welcome. Welcome back and welcome home. My name is Melissa and I will be your multidimensional cosmic tour guide today. We're going to do a little bit of a channeling and talk to the Fae, the fairy kingdom, the elemental kingdom. And we're going to pull a couple cards from the Fairies Oracle. Brian Froud. So this is a deck that I've had for years, and I put a couple of the pictures in picture frames probably 20 years ago, and felt a little bit of a connection with the Fae, but not always. That's not been my main connection, but I love the earth, and I know all of us do. And when am I going to have an excuse to wear this? Right? So, So the first messages I'm getting from the Fae are, I've got a council group, elders of pure light, and they're saying we've been waiting for this for a long time. We've been so separate from humanity for such a long time, but in reality, we always fit, we always belong. So their experience in the elemental kingdom has been much like perhaps Lord of the Rings or times like that where the elemental kingdom does exist, but they were covered by great darkness, and so were we. We just didn't see it in the same way, perceive it in the same way, and that separated us. So inner earth beings, little different layers of who we are, our consciousness, our higher selves, different pieces of ourselves are in the elemental kingdom, and they're saying many of you we know, and the magic is real, and the true magic is that Christed, purified light. And they're saying we do have many different beings that would like to say hello to many of you, and we are really excited to write the scripts of the next phases of the light grid being held, so that we bring that 5D into all of our consciousness. So all in divine order. They're saying in this realm is where you find the fountain of youth, which means just purified in your cellular level, your molecular structure. And they're saying the adventures that your soul yearns for, the navigation through energies in a different way is going to be seen. So the navigation, meaning how we perceive our daily lives and how we live it, they're saying is going to be seen in the next days, weeks, months, and years, as we kind of go back to, not go back to basics like we don't have anything, but go back to basics, so that it's not as globbed with heavier, dense things that are not needed. Yes, we're going to have technology age. Yes, we're having continuation of those things, but we're also bringing heaven and earth back together, and that balance, and that Christed balance. And they say, we like the sacred union. Many of you humans are known here and have perceived us at different times throughout time and different lifetimes. And they're saying the darker energies did get us too. So they're saying that the inversion of humanity was very similar to them. They're the little people, the elves, and they know different things, and they bring these different aspects back into our earth reality. And they're saying we're very close. When the veil is thin, we are also very close. And so we're very delighted to say hello and bring you some messages. Our hearts are with you, humanity, and many of you, again, we know and we like to check on. So if you've ever felt a little bit of mischievous goodness around you, that could possibly be the Fae. So the first card I'm getting is the Oak Man. talk about elemental. So he's the wise Father Oakman. And I'm going to read it from the book because I don't remember all the specific meanings. And we'll see what we get as it goes through to help us in our journey today. Very nice. Fairies speak to us in many, many ways. We perceive their intent with our ears and our eyes and our hearts and our laughter too. It's a little quote from the author, the creator of this oracle deck. The Oakmen, strength, ancient wisdom, depth, base. In a way, it's also like the stag that brings us wisdom and our connection. So this card depicts strength and wisdom of age. It also reminds us that what we need to know, what is truly here to be seen, cannot be discovered by a superficial glance, a hasty reaction, or any mocking. I threw in mocking. In a reading, the Oakmen tell us to look slowly and deeply into the heart of the matter and see past the superficialities of the surface. Consider the history of the situation in depth and learn from the past. Consult others with more experience than you have. Learn from the wisdom of the elders, both those available to you personally and those who you encounter in books and elsewhere, in different ways, in different aspects in this world. So I'm receiving a message from the Fae Council that's here, the elders that are here, that we are delighted to share with you that you can manifest things further in the days to come. And you will see some of the reaping the benefits of your prayers and your work in yourself. And they're saying, show me a ring. Like there are magical tools that they wish to just bestow upon us and bring us, that will bring us help in our journeys. And there are magical tools like a ring that some of you will be receiving, and they speak to you sometimes in your sleep state, and sometimes you can feel them again in different places. You know, like they're more prominent, and there are just like human beings. Some are taller, shorter, and they come from different tribes or groups. So the consciousness of the civilization of Lemuria is beautiful, Fae. And off and on over the last decade, I've worked with them, and they're just spectacular. And so there are different groups, just like different communities, just like we all have. And they are also ascending and awakening with us and very much connected to us. They can perceive us much easier than we can perceive them. They have gifts to bestow, and they will help us with the healing and the navigating. And in that navigating, they're saying that will help you write these scripts. It's almost like the new movie scripts for this simulation. So if we live in a simulation, kind of like the Matrix movies show us, simulation, and there's computer programs going on for the very long time. There's like extra gross movies going on. And then like all the good movies got like scrapped somehow. And then we have zombie apocalypses and bad witches gone wrong, and painful wars and things like that in our movie situations in our simulation. So that's where we're surpassing those pieces and going, no, we do not want that. And they're helping us rewrite the computer program of the simulation, write the scripts. And I like that. They're here for us to be able to connect with, like friends, guides, guardian angels, and the Fae should belong in this. And they say magic is real. They're going to show us down the real rabbit hole, which would be our adventure and exploration of our expansion, instead of the dark rabbit hole of the gross it's like the rabbit hole in essence was the black hole that was just sucking us out. We couldn't get out when we were in. If our foot fell in the rabbit hole, we couldn't get it out sometimes. All of us have felt this way. And there's no need for that ugly, gross rabbit hole, but the good rabbit hole that holds treasures and wisdom and earth knowledge is what that they are going to bring us in the next phases and cycles. And they're saying we do like it when you leave us gifts. So I was telling someone the other day that when I was a little girl, I think I might have told this somewhere, but when I was a little girl, I saw little people twice. It's the only time I've ever seen that, and it's not my awareness. But in the town that I grew up in, there were places where there were like creek beds, and they were built, and there were little bridges, and it was pretty groovy. And still to this day, if I were there, which I haven't been in over 3 years, I think 4 years to my hometown, there's a park, and we used to go walk the dog, and there are slides and things for children. So my dad used to take us, sometimes mom and dad, but dad used to take us. And when I was a little girl, I saw little people twice. And from that point on, every once in a while, I would stop and do readings or, appointments in the car, or meet someone at the park instead of an enclosed office when it was a pretty day when I was there. And I would leave things at the place where I saw the little people. I can't see them now. I don't know if they're there, but I saw little people, and I thought, man, that's weird. Even then, but I left them pennies, dimes, cookies, pieces of my sandwich, different things over the years. And I always, even if they are not there, I was always wondering if they were. And I would say, okay, thank you for being magical. Thank you for being here and showing me the different dimensions, or helping me with my calling all the way from when I was a little girl. And I think many of you, even if you haven't seen little people or fairies with your naked eye, it doesn't mean that they're not there, and you know that they're there. So if you want to, we can ask them for a few extra unmistakable signs. And we can maybe, I don't know, leave them a crystal, leave them a penny, leave them something if you would like. And sometimes when I go on tours or go pray in Sedona, and just, by myself, I'll leave little pieces of things, or leave offerings to the energy of the earth, and say thank you for showing us this glorious beauty, and letting me be part of it, letting me breathe you in, letting me touch this beautiful tree, letting me feel the beautiful energies. And so that's my way of sharing and gifting back that I don't know how to give back to the earth better. But that's a way that I do that. And it might seem childlike, but sometimes that childlike innocence is what connects us with the elemental kingdom, or God, or our angels a little bit more. And so, they're saying we like it when you leave us little things. I remember taking them a couple of buttons. Like my mom growing up had a, sewing machine in a little space with a little thing like a bowl or a jar of buttons. So I just took a couple of buttons to them, once or twice. And, since I was a little child, I was pretty small. I was in grade school, probably first grade, maybe a little bit younger. I don't know. But you can kind of very easily crawl down into the little creek bed that has got, cement, and we walk over bridges in the park there. So what a blessing and what a cool thing. And to be able to communicate with the Fae on occasion, who want to very much connect in that Christed energy, and bring us messages of hope and faith and happiness, and bring us that little spark of childish not childish. Well, sometimes childish play, laughter, childlike innocence. And really, really promise us that we can rewrite the simulated scripts, computer programs with movies we like that don't have so much war and poverty and lack and pain and heartbreak and suffering. And so they're saying, yeah, we'll help you write the scripts and the new programs of the light matrix so that you can always choose to be in the state of being that you choose to be in. And it all has harmony in it, or happiness, a little bit of fun, laughter, and that you remember what it's like to be in that light. You know, you can have fast cars, you can have really cool relationships, you can have passion and fun. All those things that you could ever desire are available, and the Fae are bringing this. It's almost like a magic spark or a promise, or maybe some tools that we can use to remember how to connect with Source, God, Creator, in all ways and levels of who we are, and to receive, bring in those heart's desires now. And they're saying, and so it is. They are very grateful, like they're filled with gratitude way more than humanity has been able to catch on to. And they're saying it's just our natural state of being. Sometimes we can be grumpy and we can be just like you, but our state of being is it's almost like a gratitude space or a thankful space. And so that also holds that childlike innocence of, well, thank you. This is a good life. And that continues to create the light around them. And that's what they're going to help us remember. They're recommending, and my friend Melissa, who is very supportive and always helps me. She was sending me some ideas of affirmations and things that can help us continue to manifest and create and things like that. And they're saying, yes, those are highly recommended from the Fae to hold and practice that expression or reception of anything that you ever wanted in those affirmations, those telling your voicing it, feeling it, tasting it, hearing it, feeling it. Everything you ever wanted can help write the scripts and hold it in the simulation so that that's the movie that's playing in your daily life. So we're going to pull one more card and see what we've got. They're saying, we love you. We're learning how to connect in that very fulfilling love again. So we've got two that came out, and the first one is Penelope Dreamweaver. So that's confirming what they're just saying. Penelope Dreamweaver is saying to us, I'm holding the magic here. And look at her crown. It activates us in these particular frequencies or colors or tones or pieces of the rainbow bridge, the rainbow. And she says, I'll help you during your sleep, and I'll help you write the scripts in your simulation for your daily life. That's the number 28, and I'm going to read the Penelope Dreamweaver from the book so that we can know more what Penelope Dreamweaver brings to us. Inspiration, magical dreams and visions. She's saying, I will lead you on your dream quest. I like it. I like her energy. She's the weaver of dreams, the bringer of visions, the muse of artistic inspiration. Penelope weaves tapestries in the minds with threads of light and color and sound. It's my kind of person right there. Seek visions. Ask, and you shall receive that inspiration and that muse. Beware that they are often subtle and require close attention. So fairies, or fantasies, dreams, and daydreams are all places of inspiration that the Fae can contact us. She can pop up in unannounced ways in the midst of the most ordinary activities. In the bath, washing the dishes, driving the car, anywhere else that our mind is half occupied and half running on idle. Pay special attention to the unsought inspirations at this time. You have something wonderful to offer. The Fae have something wonderful to offer you, but it is up to you to catch them and bring them into reality. I think every single one of us on the planet have had pain and overthinking and these ruts of yuck that we've all been in, worry, stresses, pains. And I really like it that this card is indicating that the fairy kingdom can help us, and we can keep, even if it takes us 100 times, to keep asking for some inspirations and signs that'll help us stay out of that, thinking and continue to create the really beautiful magic from within our hearts and connect with this elemental kingdom and become a thriving civilization again, step by step together. So, the elder group is saying, it's a feminine, and she's saying your loved ones are not far away either. So, just know that in these times when the veil is thin and we are remembering and even fantasizing about how to connect in spirit, what can we do? What's our next steps? You go back to basics and realize that love is with you and love is all there is. That's the truth. Pardon me, the next one is, I can't see if it's Fatelin, the Sylph. Look at that. I saw a being once in Arkansas that looked similar to this with yellows and golds. And it scared me because wasn't used to that. But this is a similar depiction. So look again, here are the coded pieces of her, the light, similar to our chakra systems. We have chakras in our hands and our feet and all around us. And then the main ones that we know about are and she says, in this one, the Sylph brings us some ways that we can stay connected, is what I'm receiving from the fairies that is here, fairies that are here. We have wisdom, and many of you already enjoy this element, this earth elementals anyway, and connect and learn and grow together, even if we don't do it out loud, we don't know out loud. And so they're continuing to love that. They're flattery. What we see here in this Tatin, the Sylph, is acute intellect, quickness, mental synthesis, discernment. And that's what we're all actually opening our eyes to, is the discernment in many ways. And we're seeing mental quickness, adaptability, and enthusiasm. Ideas and opinions abound. A few are brilliant, but the others vary from mediocre to downright silly. Be selective, and mental and psychic abilities may be awakening at this time. Independent thinking is in operation. New ideas and new versions of old ideas are creating an exciting and effervescent atmosphere. Avoid excess and extremes. I think we're all working on that too. discernment and avoiding extremes and excess. Minds may change often as new ideas and new ways of seeing bubbles to the surface. Out of conflict and confusion, resolved by goodwill and clear thinking, a new and better understanding may come. So the Fae are saying we will be honored to let all of you that want to know that we're here and in different places, might be even stronger or easier to connect with them. And they're saying we shall be seeing you and bring you little sparkles in the out of the corner of your eye sometimes. And anyone that is into things like magical fairy kingdom things, it's all yours. And just know they are, they're saying some of us, most of us are trustworthy these days. But they're saying we are here to bestow gifts and walk alongside you. Just like in the Lord of the Rings, there were different types of beings that usually don't hang out all the time. So you had the elves and the fairies and the trolls. Different types of beings, right? So they were all like, oh, do I have to be right? Oh. And then the hobbits, of course. And so there were the different elemental beings of the inner earth kingdoms and, of course, Gandalf, you know. And so the different beings brought different aspects, but when it was time, they all walked together and they spread the darkness out and cleared it, transmuted it, and brought back the light. So that is what the Fae here are saying, that they will walk with us and rewrite the scripts with us, and they will enjoy getting to know each other again after this long separation where we didn't know if they were real, we didn't know if they were around. And in these next years, some of the beautiful children, the indigo children, the starseeds, the children that are born, being born now and in the last decades, for sure. Some have superior strength and intuition, and they're all intact. They're pure light, intelligence and wisdom and all these things. And so they're saying we will connect with some of the young people and the old people alike, and we'll bring that childlike innocence and a little bit of laughter. It's time to play back into our mindsets. So this was very fun. Thank you all so much. And I say thank you to the earth elementals, the Fae. And we shall carry on. Thank you all so much for liking and sharing. And I send many blessings to you, and pure light